My man.
Snipes! Yo, what's up, y'all? It's another episode of Rell Gato TV. We're back on the match with it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. What a day, what a day. I'm very blessed to be here. Very blessed to be back doing the pod. I kind of know, I kind of been out of the loop for a little bit, but it's time to get back active, get back to work. And I'm so happy to have my brother Snipes, man. Professional fighter. I could say friend,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
By the grace of God. Teacher. I can say teacher. We was doing a light sparring. He was whooping my ass today. So, that's another episode. But we got the one and only Snipes in the building. Let's make some noise.
Thank you.
Welcome, my brother, to the Rell Gato show.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Absolutely. How you feeling today?
I feel amazing. We got just finished up with a nice training session.
Yeah.
My boy Gustavo taught a very good Muay Thai class today at BK MMA. So yeah, we're feeling great. Ready to get this interview going and shed some light on my upcoming fight.
Yeah. Shout out to Gustavo, aka Jefe, aka he got to chill. That's what we got. Today was crazy. I was like, yo, bro.
Good work.
When we got to doing these, I was like, bro, I ain't got no arms left, bro. Like, what we doing here? I don't got too much going on here. You know, I'm kind of beat, man. But
you pushed through though.
yeah, I tried. I
tried.
tried, man. I'm very thankful to the team because like when we have the tough trainings and stuff like that, like sometimes just that morale and that push from your other teammates, and the push from people who you actually respect, it gets you to the level where you need to be. It motivates you. So, I'm very blessed, man. And being able to still train, I'll be 38 next year.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of washed up 38-year-old people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to be able to still train, to be able to still get in and work with guys, man, it's a blessing. So,
That's it.
Saturday class is Muay Thai here at Brooklyn MMA. And yeah, we definitely was putting in some work. So, yeah, man, we got the fight, right?
Sure.
Coming up. What's the date on it?
Sir, September 19th.
Okay.
Location, if you don't know, Atlantic City. Fighting for promotion, Ring of Combat. My boy Lou Neglia is the godfather of the East Coast regional MMA scene. Shout out to Frankie Perez as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is your fight for a title? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
So this fight is it's like a new tournament, the Ring of Combat they got going on. It's for the interim belt for 145 featherweight division. So I'm excited about that. Very excited about that.
You look sharp today.
Thank you.
You look sharp. Like you look very calm. Even when we was going light sparring, but I've watched some of your spars and I watched you work with Farouz. Shout out to Farouz. He just came back, so it's good to see my brother here back on the mat as well. And you look even when I was watching your sparring and even when we was going at it a little bit, you look so calm. Like, do you feel like mentally you're in a calm space? Do you feel like you kind of matured a little bit in life and it kind of is translating on the mat? You didn't seem like erratic, you seem very like just, I didn't even know you was fighting, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Or sparring, I should say. What's your mental at with it?
Try to be calm, try to stay focused, kind of block out those emotions. I think that's a big part in like the fighting is just being able to control your just life period, not only fighting but specifically fighting, just being able to control your emotions. Try not to make it like a tit for tat game. So if you get hit or if somebody does something, try not to react off of that as much. Just leave all the emotions out and focus on your task at hand.
Right. Do you feel like when you're fighting, and you mentioned about the emotional control, do you feel that the fighting aspect has kind of like improved your emotional control as you matured as a man?
Definitely, for
Like,
sure.
what was young Snipey like? No emotional control?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of young people have that problem, I would say. Just not being able to control their emotions and just reacting off of their emotions.
Right.
And you see that a lot. Our brothers going to the system.
Right.
Right. Not being taught that at home. But that's a big thing. I think they should incorporate that in the school system as well. Just emotional control. being able to control yourself as an individual, that's everything. No one has control over your emotions. People always, all the time, they like to say, oh, this person made me angry, this person made me. Nobody is making you anything. You
Right.
know, you are in control of how you react. So that's a big thing. And I think the working out and the MMA has helped me in leaps with
Right.
that, right? Being able to control myself and my emotions. Because I see how important it is in the gym. And so I just carry that on through life day to day.
So, Snipey, how old are you now?
Right now I'm 29.
What was 14-year-old Snipes like? 15-year-old Snipes?
When I was younger, just a lot of energy. Again, not being able to control, right? And I think not only control, but just being able to understand. I think that's another thing too. A lot of these emotions and stuff like that, they were new to me. Because, you know, you 14, 15, you only was born that amount of time. Like, you're new to the world still. So it's just like a lot of these things are new. And you don't really understand it. And throughout the years, you learn, you know, like, you would learn, like, God say, you might not understand it now, but soon you will.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? And as you get older, you kind of see things play out and you kind of understand why they happen in life. And then it starts to make sense. And then that teaches you discipline. That teaches you patience and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Now, 14-year-old Snipey, you grew up in Canarsie, correct?
yeah. I see.
And, obviously growing up in Brooklyn, there's a lot of, gang stuff going on. I had my personal experiences with that growing up. And,
Right.
Was you ever affected by that, being outside, being around the crowd?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
My next door neighbor, he was 14. Rest in peace, Zay.
Yeah.
He got shot and killed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
14 years old. You just started high school. You never even went to a bar. You never had so much life you didn't get that experience, unfortunately. But yeah, so come to that environment, the gang violence. And so that definitely plays a role in when you're growing up in that environment.
How did that affect you?
It affected me, but I just kind of chose to stay away from it. But I'm blessed for that.
Right.
You know, that's God.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, they fall into it and they have to learn the hard way. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to take that route. But my environment definitely played a part in my development as far as just making mistakes and having to learn from them.
Right.
Doing things I shouldn't have done and having to learn from that.
Right.
But thank God it never got too serious to where I lost my life or my freedom.
Right. And now, when did you get into martial arts? Like, how old were you then?
I was at like the end of middle school. I think I was like 12, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started. I started at a Shotokan karate gym.
Okay.
I did that for about a month.
Okay.
And then I found this gym, Brooklyn Mixed Martial Arts.
Okay. So you've been working with Terry for a while.
Yeah, for years now.
How does how does that translate? Would you say that Terry has became like a big brother to you? Like, what's the impact on your life that Coach Terry had?
Yeah, I would say big brother, like more like a father figure
Really?
for me, because it's just like the age difference. And but yeah, like the relationship is dope. Like, Tito, that's my guy. I love him. But since young, and it's really been on and off. So I'm not gonna say I started 13 or 12 and been consistent this whole time, because that's not the truth.
Yeah.
There's been years that I haven't been to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I always found my way back. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. So now, you mentioned God a lot. What's that for you? What is God? What is your relationship with God?
I think God for me, and it should be for everybody, is everything. It's everything. I know me personally, I didn't wake myself up this morning.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's the Alpha, Omega, the creator of all creators. He is who he is. He says,
Right.
I am who I am. And he's
you,
everything. Yeah.
Did you grow up in the faith? Like, was your family relatively religious? Did they, follow like Christ, or that's been the family thing?
Yes, sir. We grew up in Christianity.
Okay.
At a young age, we would always go to the church every Sunday.
Okay.
Bible study and stuff like that. But as we got older, we kind of steered away from the church.
We all do.
Right, you know what I mean? You see that a lot,
We all do.
life, but I don't know what the real reason is, but as you get older, you kind of stay away from the church. Fortunately for us and my family, we always kept the prayer in home.
Yeah.
So even though we would stop going to the church, every night we'd come together and we'd pray. And yeah. So,
And family, mom and father.
yeah, mom and father, that's another blessing.
What?
Right? That's another blessing.
Shout out to mom and pop.
Yeah, thank
Amen.
God. More than blessed to have both of them in my life, you know. So yeah, and they still together.
Amen.
So
Amen. Kevin Samuels, God, our people be proud.
right. I know, for real.
So what do they think of you fighting? Like, what's their thoughts?
They're not into it.
Yeah.
They're not really into it. Always been trying to get me to do something else. And like my dad initially put me into MMA.
Okay.
Yeah, he put me into the karate. He put me into the MMA because he knew like fighting probably wasn't his strength.
Right.
And he knows how it is, especially in the environment I grew up in. So he wanted to make sure I had that base and that foundation.
Were you bullied?
No, I wasn't bullied.
Okay.
I wasn't bullied, but
Were you a bully?
no, I wasn't a bully
Okay.
either, and I wasn't much of a fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is for everybody else that grew up in my environment, but for me, I probably have a fight once a year. In school,
Yeah.
Twice.
Oh, that's kind of
twice a
rare.
year.
That's kind of rare.
You know what I'm saying?
What school you went to?
I went to my 11th.
Okay.
Middle school.
Okay.
Yeah. IS 285.
Okay. So you was okay. In high school, where'd you go?
High school. I was fortunate enough to go to high school in the city.
Yeah. Nice.
I went to performing arts high school in the
Nice.
city, called Talent Unlimited High School.
Yeah.
And I did acting. I majored in acting.
Yeah.
See what happened is I would go in middle school. I got into musical theater. I remember doing that. And
Yo, why is all fighters like the best fighters that I know is we got
The
McKenna
arts.
in the house. He's a theater
My boy
kid.
McKenna
Yo, listen
in
to
the
me.
background with it.
People watching, be mindful of who you mess with in theater. They know jujitsu. It will hurt you. Be very mindful of who you deal with. Go
We
ahead.
touch on that. So it's an art.
Yeah.
It's all arts. Whether it be dance, vocal, acting, it's all arts. It's a form of expression. And so that's what mixed martial arts, hence the word arts, is, just a form of expression, controlled violence, a violent movement, you could say. But it's just a form of expression, and it's the same with all the arts. So I think it all comes together, in a way, and they're all related.
So what you're saying to me is that when you're here on this mat and you're beating people up, you're actually acting. You're performing.
It's a performance, yeah. Yeah. And it is similar to acting.
How so?
Because it's like it's honesty. You can't lie. There's no lying being that you can't lie, and it's the same thing with acting. And you could say like, well, acting, you're playing somebody else, yes, but in playing somebody else, you essentially become them, right? And that's what separates a good actor from a great actor, or they have something called method acting, where these guys would literally become the character. Rest in peace to Heath Ledger, right? The guy who played the Joker in The Dark Knight, he kind of got a little too into his character and wasn't able to turn the switch off.
Yeah.
Because he was so into that character and becoming that person.
Yeah.
So yeah, acting is like, yeah, I'm acting, I'm playing a role, but essentially you're embodying that character. You're letting the spirits, the essence of that character enter you. So it's very spiritual as well.
How do you deal with that in being a believer of Christ? Because I think about that. Like, they just had something with Denzel Washington getting baptized, right? So,
Right.
like, when you take on somebody else's spirit,
Right.
where's the room for the Holy Spirit?
Where's the room for God?
Amen. Tricky.
Amen.
It get tricky.
Right.
Hence
You know,
Heath
this-
Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Think about it.
Hence
He
Heath
he
Ledger,
actually
right?
committed
Yes,
suicide
sir.
or
Sure.
committed,
Yeah,
you know. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's a spiritual world before it is physical.
Right.
This world, and God says it in the Bible, the devil is the prince of this world.
Prince of the Air.
I believe in reincarnation. I don't believe that we are here. Like, this is my first time on this earth. I don't believe this is any of our first times on this earth. And everything is already written. We're just living it out, right? And so it becomes a thing of, well, okay, if everything's already written, why are we doing these things if I don't have a say in it, per se? And I don't think it's to question that. I think it's to question the reason why. I've kind of said that already. Sorry. it's not to make a choice. It's to question why you've made the choice.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Which ultimately leads to kind of self-discovery
That's it.
and discovery with
You
God
got
as
it.
well. I get
You
you.
got it.
I'm here with you, my
You
bro.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the real question. It's not
The book is written, you just reading it.
you just reading it.
Page by page.
That's it.
How does that translate to you professionally? Do you feel like the fighting story that you're now living
Yeah.
is actually a book that you want to continue to read?
Yeah.
And B, do you feel that God wrote this story for you, or you're writing it and bringing it and coming to pass on your own with this story?
I think I'm just reading it.
Just reading
I'm
it.
reading it. God has already written it. And along the story, it's for me to learn, like you said, self.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then just to answer your previous question, it's like, where do you keep that God, right? If you are letting these things into you.
Including fighting.
Right. Including fighting. Yes, sir.
Very violent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to kind of
Yeah.
have a mindset in that when
Yeah.
you get into that ring, right?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson spoke about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm in the cage, pardon me, when I'm in the ring, I'm a different person.
Right.
And so where do you keep God? Where do you have God? And I think it's a thing of duality. I think it's a thing of, again, but ultimately all of these things lead you to knowing self and knowing God even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You can't know good without knowing bad.
Right.
You know, it's that kind of way.
Right.
So I think it's all duality and it all works in one.
Right.
And I think we're here to discover that. I think God put us in, you know, again, he said the devil is the prince of this universe, of this world, pardon.
Yeah.
And so we are
closer
here,
to the mic.
and so we are here to discover God and grow closer to God and love God even more so.
Right.
Through our trials and tribulations, we are able to grow and become something better.
When you say grow and become something better, I want to kind of piggyback into something that's kind of trending right now, which is a UFC fighter. I can't remember his name, but he has like tattoos on his face and stuff. He revealed in his bank account that he had only $13 left.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he's a professional fighter, and he's kind of like fighting for, I mean, literally survival. What is your take on like the financier part of the fighting game? Because like I'm learning as I move along. We're working with Dell, obviously working with you, and this is this fight is the first fight that we as a company actually sponsored. And so I'm learning the importance of financing and supporting the fighters, especially during fight camp, because there's sacrifices that you have to make financially as well. I want you to touch a little bit on that, like the financial aspect of the fight game. Being that you are professional, you've gotten paid to actually
Yes, sir.
do your craft. Is that a fear of yours? Like getting into this game and not making the money and risking your body, risking your life? Is that a fear? Is that something you think about?
No, yeah, because it's a longevity thing. Especially in this sport, you only have a certain window to get the amount of money you want to get and just to be active and healthy. Injuries can happen at any time, and we don't know when that'll be. But I think his last name is Dumas. Yeah, he had 13 and some change in his account. But he's fighting this today, actually, so hopefully he does well. Hopefully he could change that around. But yeah, it's financial literacy.
Do you feel like fighters need to get that a little bit more?
Definitely.
Instead of, because I've been really thinking about that, working with you guys, how much, especially fighters that come from a community that doesn't have the level of education
Exactly.
as their counterparts, and doesn't have the financial backing, just how important it is to actually have financial literacy. Because the same way, like there's a certain mentality with fighters that I've noticed just with training for a year and some change, right? And it's all, I gotta put in the work. I gotta be on this mat. I gotta constantly work on my skill sets. But what happens is that can make you a one-sided human being.
Yeah.
I talked to Dell about that a lot, on how important it is to, yes, train, yes, put in the extra time, but also educate yourself. Financial literacy, is that something that you're on the hunt for, like right now? Is that something that
Definitely.
you're because you asked me a lot of questions.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure, definitely.
what is that for you right now at this stage?
It's setting yourself up to where you're good, your family is good, your family is good for the generations to come. Um, it's knowing what to do with your money. You want to make your money work for you,
Right.
and not you working for your money. Because, like I said, we only have a certain window in this sport, and just in life. Even if you're not doing this sport, God forbid anything could happen. So just with the money you have, how to invest it, where to put your money, not to just put it in a bank to where they're investing your money, right? So I think that's very important. That's everything, that's
Right.
everything, especially for fighters.
Do you think that financial literacy should be like mandatory when you become a professional fighter? Like
sure.
it should be like
Right.
classes, because the NFL has things like that, right? Like they have like rookie training, how to behave when you're, traveling on the road, like here are the pitfalls. Why doesn't the UFC or any professional fight leagues offer that for fighters? Why do you think?
Yeah. Honestly, if I had to, think, I would just say like possibly to just enable them.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it could be. Like
Yeah.
you would want a fighter to have that, and not only when you join a company, but even in schools they should teach that.
Yeah.
Schools they should teach financial literacy.
Yeah.
I believe we had like probably one course, but they should make it a whole class, bro. Like yo, every day you're coming in and you're learning about stocks and bonds, credit cards,
Right.
credit,
Right.
how to use your credit,
Right.
money, and just every day they should incorporate that instead of like certain things like they got algebra and stuff like that, trigonometry. I've never used that a day after leaving high school, right? Calculus, all these other things you never use throughout life, and it's just like, what about the things that are applicable?
Yeah.
What about the things on the day to day?
Yeah.
So they should definitely even start in schools, bro, incorporating stuff like that.
Yeah, like I have a theory on why it's not conducive for fighters to have that level of knowledge. Because what happens is when they have that level of knowledge on a large scale, they become Mayweathers.
That's it.
So like if you look at the legacy of Mayweather, I mean, pound for pound, literally the best boxer.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But his marketing, his ability to invest is second to none. There's never been a fighter close to Mayweather that has had the lucrative financial career. I mean, his purses that he's been getting has been like historical.
Right.
And it's because he understands himself as a brand. He understands his position financially, and he understands how to generate obviously a consumer base,
Right.
so to speak, because it is business what
It's
you are
business
doing.
at the end of the day, yeah.
And so like I think they don't want too many Mayweathers because what's to stop Mayweather from starting his own professional league? He can do it because he has enough capital to do it. And then now he can also license that out as well. People would actually pay to see a Mayweather promotion, and that becomes very dangerous for people who come from less than communities.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? So I have a feeling that unfortunately I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. I'm kind of pessimistic in it because the culture for fighters is warrior mentality, gladiator, warrior, but it's not understanding how important it is to position yourself financially as a fighter. And it's sad to see fighters, like that's sad to see somebody, because I know how hard you guys train as professionals. Like it's no joke to go through a training camp.
Oh yeah.
So to see that is kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
You're
starting to see it more and more though. Thank God, fighters are branching off into other things.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor kind of initiated it for the MMA scene.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see other guys like join alcohol brands,
Right.
partner with those. So it's a beautiful thing. It's pretty dope.
Right. This fight camp, like, do you feel like you had a good fight camp? Like, do you feel like you really like pushed yourself this fight camp? And like, what was your mentality during this fight camp as we come close to the fight?
My mentality is I'm ready. I'm ready to make my return. It's been a while since made my debut.
Right.
So I couldn't wait. I've been like excited to come back.
Right.
But just life and other things.
Right.
But I'm glad to be back. The camp was great.
Right.
I got a lot of running in, a lot of movement, a lot of sparring, more than I did for my pro debut.
Right.
So I
Right.
feel good. I'm confident.
Right.
And my mentality, where my head is at, is just to just go out and put on a good show.
Yeah.
Go out and get the job done, first and foremost. But
Yeah.
put on a good show and just have fun.
Yeah. I feel like just watching you, like I said during this fight camp, like, I think this fight camp, like you really push yourself. But I think just as a person who's learning martial arts, what I really took to notice is how much smooth and control in your movements. Like I was watching you and Farouz do the wall work,
Okay.
and I was just like, okay, very cerebral.
All right.
You know, I don't see too many people like that. Like I think you and McKenna have like the ability to slow it down mentally, but still look like you're moving at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to say I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And you mentioned that you took some time off, life events, right?
Right.
Some stuff took place. What was your mentality like during that time off? I believe it's like a year or something, maybe 2.
Yeah, no,
Was
yeah,
that-
like a few years.
Okay, okay.
A few years, but my mind was always to get back in the ring. I
Yeah.
never lost sight of what I wanted,
Yeah,
to get a championship belt.
yeah.
And
Did you
kinda-
get into acting while you took?
Yeah.
the time
I
off?
ended up
Okay.
the acting picked up
Okay.
on my time off. I did a lot of like background work.
Yeah.
I was on Raising Keenan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out to
met-
50.
I met some
gotta
big people as well.
Could you sponsor, please?
Right, right.
You know, can we get this going?
Yeah, shout out to Joey Badass.
Yeah. Shout out to Joey.
I met Megan Good on set.
Yeah. Shout out to all of them.
Great
Shoot.
talents. I was blessed to
Yeah.
just
Sponsor us, please.
network and do your word.
Joey, shout out to Joey album. Shout out to my boy Kirk Knight. That's my dog. He
Right,
just did
yeah.
Joey's album. They've been cooking up. So, you know, if you guys want to get in the fight game,
Yeah, I'm your boy.
that's where you need to be.
Yeah, I told him hit me up for the personal training.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
got him. Yeah, I'm here.
Now, I worked with you too, right? You've definitely showed me some stuff. How did you get into the personal training and helping others kind of like developing the craft of martial arts? Like what was the goal behind that?
I just made business cards one day and I was just like, yeah, I gotta get into the personal training.
Yeah.
A lot of people would hit me up and stuff like that,
Yeah.
asking for tips and so I'm just like, sessions is open now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do you feel like you're a good coach?
Yeah, I think I'm a great coach.
What makes
I think
a
I'm
great coach?
I think what makes a great coach is remembering how it was when you first started. And that's it. And it's the same for like a great parent.
Yeah.
You want to remember how it was when you were a kid.
Oh, that's easier
You
said
know
than
what I
done.
mean?
Trust
It's
me.
very easier said than done, but that's what you want to do. A lot of parents, like, they kind of forget how they were when they were kids.
Yeah.
And so they raise the kid a little different, a lot different.
Yeah.
Stop jumping, stop running.
Yeah, yeah.
You used to do the same.
That's
when
me.
You was a kid.
That's me.
What are you
Yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's just like with the training, I remember how it was when I first started.
Yeah.
Everything is weird. We're not, even the fighting stance, right? 1 foot in the front, 1 foot
Yeah,
in the back.
yeah.
We weren't born walking
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
just remembering how difficult it is and being able to break it down on a new level, on a beginner level, so they could interpret it.
Right.
And they could receive it.
What is it like when you see like someone that you worked with actually develop over that time? How do you feel?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a real good
I was
thing.
throwing some elbows. You made me feel like I.
And it looked
Yeah, it looked
amazing, bro.
good. I
It
look
looked
back at the video and say,
amazing.
you know what? That's not bad.
And
You
I
know?
get happy as if I'm improving.
Yeah.
And I am.
Yeah. No, that I really resonate with that because like I've worked with a lot of people here and I'm very thankful. Like a lot of the guys, especially the pro guys, I've learned something from each and every single one of them. And like the teaching style has been, somewhat different, but I like to say that two of my favorite people that I've worked with, well, I would say 3 is Mega. Shout out to Mega.
Shout out to Money, yeah.
Yeah, because he's just fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
He dope.
And I remember like when I first started, he would tell me some stuff. McKenna, especially with the grappling and the jujitsu, because we would slow stuff down. Like even if, let's say he would get a position, he would like, okay, Rell, how did you get here? Okay, this is where you made your mistake.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's reset and do it again. And then now working with you, because this is my first time in the camp with you and helping you and trying to push you. And like even when you were kind of helping me work off like fighting and switch stance and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? I like Snipes because I could tell there's a lot of humility and there's a lot of like you said, there's a lot of, I guess, even though this is a contact and a violent sport, like you were able to put yourself in my shoes because I'm still relatively new to martial arts.
That's it. That's what
You
it's
know,
about.
I'm curious to see what I'd be like in 5 years though.
Yeah, way more evolved.
yeah,
Way
yeah.
more evolved. You know
Yeah,
what saying?
I'm curious.
Yeah,
You know?
especially after this camp, I get
Yeah.
to break down even more,
Yeah.
show you even more things.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, question. I want to kind of get into this, segue into a little personal life, if I may.
Yes, sir.
How do you balance your relationships?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, you got a lady?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, shout out to her. How do you balance your friendships, your relationships, obviously your family time? How do you do that with such an intense fight schedule? Because you've been here 2 days out of the week. I mean, not 2 days, 2 times a day,
2 times a day, yeah.
7 days out of the week.
yeah.
And then when I don't see you here, I look in your Instagram and you're running or you're riding the bike, or sometimes you're running with the bike on your back or doing whatever the hell you do, pull-ups and all this other crazy stuff. So like, how do you balance all of this and still kind of like keep your sanity, bro?
That's a great question. You just find time for the family. That's it. Family is everything.
Yeah.
You know, don't let nobody fool you or trick you or tell you anything different.
Yeah.
Family ain't nothing worth more than family.
Now, how do you deal with your lady? Because the family's easy. The lady is the hard part. Because every time I go to the gym, my lady look at me and she be like, here you go again. And, you know, I love her. That's my girl. But she just had our son.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I come in the house looking somewhat snatched. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who you think you are? You got the haircut. You got the face.
inside.
Where you going? And I noticed she always want to eat out. I'm like, look, I got to eat a salad.
Right.
I'm trying to cut weight.
That's
Nah. I want to order tacos. How do you deal with that?
And you don't even compete now. Imagine if you had a competition.
Yo.
It's the resignation. I got to be on the same page and the same level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you and your ladies good. You're on the same page.
We good, but you know,
Shout out to her.
nah, we good, bro.
Why you train so much, Snipey?
Yeah, right? It's gonna be the thing of like, you know, I don't see you as much, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I get that, but I still dedicate time for her.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
She understands.
Yeah, I got an answer for her.
Yeah.
Next time she says, I don't see you so much, you go, me too. I don't see myself too much neither.
Exactly.
I don't know who I am.
I'ma use
I
that.
just punch and kick.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it.
I'm gonna use that.
I can show you how to sprawl. You want to learn how to do it?
I'm gonna use that from you, bro.
Yeah. So, okay. Ring of Combat. Talk to me a little bit about the fight scene in New York City, because it's interesting. Like, is Ring of Combat the premier fighting space? Because I know I've been to a couple fights. I know ECF.
Yeah, you got there. But as far as pro,
Right.
CFFC,
Okay.
right? With that LFA, but that's not. I don't think that's East Coast. I think that's more West Coast.
Okay.
Well, I think the two biggest promotions as far as East Coast regional MMA is definitely Ring of Combat and then CFFC.
Okay. Is there a possibility that you may travel cross country to get into another promotion?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be down for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the fight capital like for MMA? Because New York is. I heard it was Florida and Vegas.
Florida and Vegas.
Yeah.
I think Cali got a big fight scene
Okay.
as well.
Yeah,
But
okay.
Ring of Combat, I mean, 80% of their champions end up going to the UFC.
Ah.
You know, so
that's a high number.
Yeah, they tied in, they plugged in.
Yeah.
As far as East Coast.
So
regional
what you're
MMA.
saying is, after we win this fight, that autographed jersey that I got in the back, I could up that. So I might need to get another one.
For sure.
Have you signed two, put one on eBay and
That's
cash
it.
out. Okay.
So this is a tournament I'm doing. This fight this Friday will be for the interim belt at 145, and then December I'll be fighting for the McCoy, you know, the actual 145.
And that's
belt.
what. So Farouz fought for that same title.
Farouz fought for the promotion,
For
but
the
I believe
promotion.
it was an amateur fight.
No, he had a pro. I think that was a pro. Amy?
Yeah, he's an amateur still. So, but it's the same promotion. So
Nice,
when
okay.
he does turn pro, he'll
Right.
be fighting for Ring of Combat.
Copy.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully, you know. I think that's the place to be. 80% of the champions, that's a great number.
Turnover.
You know, you got a lot of guys, and even guys that fought on the promotion and went to the UFC, they had champions.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marab.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he fought
He
in
came
Ring
here
of
too.
Combat.
I remember.
He
Yeah, I
trained.
remember he came here
Went
too.
over to Mutant, trained with him.
Yeah,
And
that left hook is brutal.
yeah. I remember
Ugh.
watching him fight in Ring of Combat, you know, and now he's in the UFC and now he's a champion. He was a champion in Ring of Combat and now champion in the UFC.
Wow.
Shout out to Chris Weidman, another guy fought in Ring of Combat, had the belt, was a champion as well. It's just a bunch of other guys. So I think Ring of Combat is definitely a big platform. One of the biggest in the East Coast for sure.
Who do you look up to as a fighter? Like, who's one of those guys? Because I know Randy Brown trains here. He teaches and coaches.
I
us
definitely
here too.
look up to Randy Brown
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
You know, he's from Queens, I believe.
Yeah.
New York. He's, you know, I remember seeing him around.
Yardman. He's a yardman. Real bad man. Real bad man. Shout out to Randy.
The brain shaker.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Boy, that right hook.
He fought in Ring of Combat as well.
Ah, okay.
Doing amazing in the UFC.
Okay, so
Amazing
the
in
Ring of
UFC.
Combat is where you need to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
For sure.
okay, cool.
I aspire anybody that's coming up in the amateurs to want to fight for Ring of Combat.
Right.
I made my debut there, and it was like nothing I've ever experienced.
Talk about that a little bit.
Just like dealing with the nerves. I felt as though I was like more nervous that I've ever been for a fight. Obviously, it's a pro fight, so
What was the outcome?
I won that one. Thank God.
Was it a quick win or
Nah, I
short?
won all 3 rounds.
3
Safe
rounds.
and win. Yes, sir.
Ooh, that cardio had to be tested.
The cardio had to be there.
Okay.
More important than the cardio, though, that will, that drive. But the cardio is everything. You got to be able to do whatever you're doing for as long as you need to do it for.
Right.
So it's very important.
And then now, second fight.
Yeah, the second fight, you know,
Okay.
we ready. We here.
Here we go. Here we go. Did you ever? What's your record? What's your fight record?
For
Just
amateur,
your whole
pro.
career, Ami, pro.
Well,
What's
together, I've had one of my amateur fights were unofficial at the
Okay.
time. I don't believe they were sanctioned, but just all those fights together and pro, I think my record is like 5-1.
okay? So one
5-1.
one loss in the amateur or
One loss in the amateurs.
Okay. How did you deal with that
in the
loss?
amateurs. I was younger at the time, so again, I wasn't in control of my emotions. I kind of let my emotions get the best of me at the time.
So what you was doing? Punching walls and karate, back, spinning back kick.
I got bad. Like, what was it? I think his brother was there and he was talking shit. I like take a bottle and I like threw it to him.
Oh,
Like, throw it towards
yeah,
him, like some young kid stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the guy spoke to me and he was like, you know, he was Trini as well. He was from Trinidad as well, and he was like, "Yo, you good? Keep going. You're gonna be, you know." And he gave me that talk from an older. He was older than me, much older. So he gave me that adult talk that I needed.
Yeah.
And I took that with me, and I just grew from that.
Yeah.
It was a fight where I was winning, but I just made a little mistake.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to relax in the fight.
Ah.
So even though I was winning, I still was hyped. My emotions were still everywhere.
Right.
And I wasn't able to relax and settle in. So he was able to capitalize on a mistake I made. And it was a great learning experience. Very good. I needed that.
Yeah, man is not measured by his victories. It's measured on how he handles losses.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've took some losses, like, just in business. My business partner behind the camera is there. We took a big loss when we decided to go into this venture. And it was such an interesting experience because in that moment, we could have been mad at each other.
No, yeah.
Right? We could, you know, obviously me being the type of person that I am, I could have retaliated in a negative way against this said person that we tried to do legitimate business with. But the emotional control and being able to take the loss, believe it or not, is actually what helped us tighten up our systems even better. It helped us become better business partners. It helped us become better listeners and more observant and come to the realization that all we got is us.
That's it.
Ain't nobody gonna look out for us like we are. So, you know, it's so important that as we go through life, we understand that losses are part of the process for the growth.
It's growth, it's everything. I think a fighter, Israel Adesanya, said it like, loss is a part of life. Essentially, we lose every day. We lose, you know, you change who you were. Or you're not the same Rell you was 5-10 years ago.
No, not at
Right?
all.
So that's a loss in
I had a
itself.
6-pack like you. Let's just let the record reflect.
You still got it's under there. It's under there somewhere.
You know what it is? It's a tattoo, so it gives like the illusion. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like it, but it's really like the ink.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But we lose every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it be our loved ones, in jobs, and money. We lose our money every day. You spend, you buy something. Every day it's about just letting go. You got to realize ain't nothing on this world is yours to begin with. You were born with nothing, and you will leave as that, with nothing. You know what I mean? And all you would have is lessons and growth and learning. So I think loss is not even a loss. It should be renamed the win. You gain so much from it. You learn so much from it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
The lessons.
So, yeah, it's really a win and a win. There is no losing in life.
What would 29-year-old Snipey tell 21-year-old Snipey?
You'll be all right. Everything will be okay.
So that means you was living in your head.
Yeah, I was younger, so I didn't really understand life. But like now, how I understand everything is written, we're just living through it. It's all right. It's a process, and just keep going. Don't give up. Don't quit on yourself. I know it was recently not men's suicide, but like mental health awareness, and then men's suicide, or just suicide in a whole. I just keep saying men. Sorry about that, because I think 80%.
Well, we have a higher percentage.
Right, we have a much higher percentage.
And a high percentage of homelessness too.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right. Anybody could take a woman in, you know.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, that you know, they got gold.
Yeah.
They got a pot of gold. So,
But like, you know, it's very high. So just for all the men out there, for everybody, women and men, not even just men, but to just know in your head, like, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Tomorrow will come.
Yeah.
You know, it can't rain forever. I've never seen it rain forever. It always stopped. The sun will come out. Everything will be better.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. And now, finally, right, September 9th, my final question. You're going through the weight cut process, right?
Yes, sir. September 19th.
When you go through that process, because I find it fascinating what you guys go through. Like, you literally have to shed 10 to 15 pounds in like 2 days.
Right.
Most human beings don't even think that they can actually do that.
Right.
Where is your mind? You know, do you get like upset, angry? Do you get more, you know, like, I'm gonna kill everybody kind of thing? Like, how does your mind go through that? Because I fasted before. I've done 3-day fast. I'm not a pleasant
Not yourself
person.
when you're hungry.
Bro, I need a Snicker.
You're not yourself. You need a Snicker.
Yeah. So, you know, how do you deal with that cutting process? And then finally, all right, you weigh in.
Right.
The half of the battle is kind of done.
It's done.
And you're getting ready to go into that fight mode. Where is your mind?
And then you got to remember, it's like you got to go in there and fight right after that.
I know.
And you just dehydrated. You just stripped your body of nutrients.
Yeah.
You just probably ain't eat for a day. Like, but it's all spiritual.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a spiritual thing. All mental, all spiritual. A lot of religions, they incorporate fasting in their religion, and there's a reason why. When you fast, you strip all the impurities out your body. You become closer to self, who you are. And there's a reason why we don't like, when you go to sleep, your body's able to heal and do all these things. It's because it doesn't have to process and break down food. That's why at a certain time of night, you shouldn't be eating before you go to sleep. So it's just all spiritual, bro. And it helps you grow and become stronger for the fight. You fight that battle, you make that weight, you rehydrate good, and that's it. But when I'm going through that process, the only thing I'm focused on is making weight. And that's it. And once I'm able to rehydrate, ball's back on the court.
Yeah.
And
Your mindset 10 minutes right before the fight, what is it?
10 minutes right before the fight, I'm locked in, I'm honed in, and I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I'm very nervous. I leave it up to God. I'm praying. I'm praying. I'm keeping good thoughts in my head, right? Even though anything could happen, I still don't think about the worst that could happen. I try to keep great thoughts in my head. Oh, I'm gonna come out on top. I'm gonna win. And I just pray. But there's a lot of nerves. There's a whole lot of nerves 10 minutes before, especially when you on deck, like you the next fight up. Forget it. Forget it. You know, I done froze up before and I couldn't even move backstage one time. Yeah. So, but you get it done. You use that nervousness and that fear, so to speak, and you channel that and you hone that into having a good performance and just doing good out in the cage when you get in there.
Man, Snipey, thank you so much, my brother.
bless,
September
Thank you.
19th, we coming
Let's do it.
home with some
Let's do it.
victory. What's the after meal?
Yeah.
What's the after fight meal? The victory meal.
I'm bored. I'm vegetarian.
Yeah. All right.
I wish I could back out the steak.
Yeah.
I'm pretty boring. But after the fight meal, will probably be some pasta, some Fettuccine.
Okay, fettuccine Alfredo.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Okay, yeah.
Some mushrooms on the joint.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some garlic bread. I love Italian food.
Okay.
If not, I go Mexican.
Okay.
Get me a nice little burrito.
Little bean taco. Stinking up
a
the
little
gym.
bean burrito going crazy with the stomach there. You know, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
I said some Thai food. I'd even go some Thai.
Okay.
Pad Thai, you know.
I'm excited, man. I feel good. I'm very honored. This, like I said, very honored to be a sponsor.
Thank you.
You know
Thank you for that too. Thank you for that too,
y'all
bro.
see the leaf on the back? Can they see
Yes,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. We doing big damn things around
That's
here.
it.
Red Autumn Leaf Gang. You already know what it is.
Thank you. Shout out to Leaf Gang. Shout out to Leaf family. For
Yes.
the support in this
Yes.
training camp, y'all.
Absolutely.
Blessed. Thank you guys a lot.
Very thankful to be a sponsor. Very thankful to participate in your fight camp. I hope I serve.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely did.
I'm very thankful to have you on this podcast. I'll let you get the final thoughts, final remarks, and tell them where to find you at.
Yo, you guys could follow me on Instagram, _Snipes718. That's @ _Snipes718. I hope you guys have a blessed one. Thank you for watching. Shout out to Rell, Leaf Gang. You guys could tune in September 19th. I'll try to put the link in the bio. It's a free streaming that they're doing, free live streaming, so you guys can check out my fight September 19th for Ring of Combat.
Boom! Yes, sir. And once again, another episode back on the mat. Brooklyn MMA. You already know where it's at. Very honored, very privileged to continue to train here. Very honored to do this interview. We got more coming. And make sure y'all just stay tuned, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Drop some comments. Let me know what y'all thought of the interview. Let me know if y'all want to see the fight video after the fight. Let me know if y'all want to see some clips from the training camp. And continue to tune in, man. Rell Gato TV, RedAutumnNYC.com. Snipey. Such an honor and a pleasure. And on that note, we off this.
That was dope. Thank you for that, bro.